Hey everybody, this is Sue Craig, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Cleveland, Ohio. And today I have another card for you. And here's the card that we're going to be making. It's a pretty easy card. And this week for classes, I wanted to show the ladies in my classes just a different ribbon treatment. And maybe you've seen this before, but I haven't used it on cards. And it was a real nice learning experience for me as well. So let me tell you what we're going to need and what we're going to use to make this card. The stamp set that we're going to be using is called Peace on Earth. I know from the name of it, it sounds like it was just going to be a Christmas set. And I was pleasantly surprised that it is not just for Christmas. Yes, it has Peace on Earth, but it has big hugs for a good friend, heartfelt prayers, all the best in your new adventure, peace, love, and joy with deepest sympathy. So you can see that it is going to be used all year long, not just for Christmas. That's a bonus. The paper that we're using is called Peaceful Garden. And again, I don't have samples too many because I've been using it in classes, but it is just a gorgeous paper. I mean, I don't know that Stampin' Up! Makes any paper that's not gorgeous. This is in the holiday catalog, and so is the Peace on Earth set. So let me show you what we need. It's pretty basic. We have an envelope. I have used cherry cobbler for my card base, and my card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored 4 1/4. My designer series paper is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I have a little strip here, which is 3/4 by 4 inches. That we're going to put on the inside. This set all comes with, if you bundle it, it comes with dies. And this is one of the reasons that I really wanted this whole set, is because of the doves. Look they even have little envelopes that you can give to the doves. They also have dies for your sentiment or for images, which makes it really nice. There's greenery, and there's also stars that you can put in the sky. But the doves were what really sold me on this one. So anyway, we've cut out the doves, and we've cut out the label dies here. And for this die cut, I used a 2.5 by 4.5 inch piece of cherry cobbler. For the white one, I used a 2 inch by 3 3/4 inch piece of white paper. This piece is going to go on the inside, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. So let me show you how we're going to put this together. We're missing something. Here it is. We're missing the ribbon. This is the beautiful blue ribbon. It's called Misty Moonlight ribbon with silver. And we found that by being in the envelope, it was a little bit smushed, a little wrinkled. But just by going like this, the heat from your fingers straightens it out a little bit more. Now it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because we're going to be bending it anyway, but just as an idea for you that if you need to do that for your ribbons, some of the ribbons will work beautifully like that. So let's get started with what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to take my designer paper, and we're just going to attach it to the front of our card. Again, I hold both corners that are opposite and try to make it as even as possible all the way around. And we're going to do our sentiment here. What I did was, it says heartfelt prayers, and then I have sending. So I added the sending with the heartfelt prayers as my sentiment. So let's stamp that in our cherry cobbler. sure that you have ink on that. And let's bring it down so we can stamp. And there we go. I'm going to attach this to this part, and these kinds of pieces I like to pick up so that it's easier for me to maneuver it into place. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over and put 2 strips of adhesive. And the idea for my ribbon is that I'm going to loop it back and forth. So you want to start with some of it sticking up past. There we go, that'll be easier for you to see. Then you bring it down, make sure that it's looped, and you'll stick it to the back, bring this back up again and loop it, and then bring it back down. All right, and you can make this centered, you can make it to the right, to the left, whatever you want to do. And it's easy to change it. You can see I just took that off, so it's easy to redo it if you don't like it. And all I'm doing is just putting my finger here so that I can pull on the loop a little bit and pushing on the back here. Okay, so here's what the back looks like. I've just gone up and down with the loops, and now I'll put this on my card. What I used to do that was dimensionals, because I wanted to have it lifted up as well as the doves. So I'm going to add dimensionals to the top, the bottom, and the sides, and we'll put this on our card. Now, for this card, you could put it this way, or you can turn it this way. Because my paper does not have a direction to it, I can do either. And you can see in the first sample that I did, it's sideways like that. I like the way it filled the card, so I'm going to do it that way again. But just so you know that if it doesn't have a direction, you can have it go whichever way you would like. So I'm going to place this on here. And then we'll be adding our doves. Okay. I also like having a good pair of scissors. Now these I only use for ribbon, and you can see they have just a ribbon piece on them. That reminds me and people in my classes that this is only for ribbon. And when you do that, when you designate scissors for just ribbon, it is really worthwhile because they will cut beautifully. So I just trim those pieces of ribbon a little bit. Now I'm going to take my doves and put dimensionals on them, just one in the center. I put the larger of the doves down here at the bottom because he was kind of spread out and I had that kind of room there. And at the top, I didn't have as much room, so I put this smaller dove up here. And again, you could add a little envelope if you wanted that goes with that. Okay, now what we'll do is take care of the inside. I left it blank on the inside because I wasn't sure how people would want to use it. Sometimes it's for somebody who's sending a sympathy card or somebody who's had surgery or whatever, any reason that you would want to be praying for somebody. So we left it blank so that you could do whatever you wanted with it. So I'm going to add it adhesive to this and put it on the side. You could line it up straight at the edge, or you can bring it out just a little bit if you like. And there's your card. Pretty quick and easy once you have the pieces cut out. And that's a beautiful ribbon treatment. I love that blue with the silver. So I hope you like this card today. I hope you give it a try. And thanks for watching.